What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total Warhammer 3 Kairos Fateweaver Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, the war has begun in earnest, and we are now fighting the Tomb Kings, which have taken the Serpent Coast, though hopefully only to lose it shortly. And Garrulus has destroyed another Tomb King army, and hopefully another one shall follow suit this turn, as we will probably attack King Hetakor, rather. Then afterwards, we are going to march into the Court of Libarus' territory itself. It would be nice to destroy this and then take Karag or Rud, and thereby essentially hold everything off with our own great bastion here. In the meantime, it does look like Queek is attacking Khalida as well. And actually, speaking of Queek, he does not have an aversion to us. He isn't particularly fond of the fact that we have treaties with the Exiles, but he's not at war with the Exiles themselves. And as we don't have much in the way of potential allies, I think we gotta go for the non-aggression with Queek, at least for now. And plus, there are some Skaven units that we can certainly put into our armies. They've got a lot of ranged, fancy sorcery, or techno-sorcery, I suppose, so maybe we can deal with that. Anyway, let's propose this offer, and there we go. And yeah, now we Ryzen, though once again they're not going to be super happy about how deep we're going to be friends with the Exiles, but we may betray one or both of them later on. In addition to that, you guys have also said that you haven't really haven't seen much use for Forced Rebellion, just like we haven't seen much use in this particular campaign, so it does seem like either this is not that worthwhile, or it's way too costly for what it does, I think. If this was down to maybe 100 or even 50, it would be useful, but right now it doesn't seem to be able to do anything whatsoever. So we're probably just not going to use it again. That said, we want to reveal the Shroud on the Cult of Sigmar again, because they will come for us. So let's see what they're doing back here. Volky, you are heading out... Are you heading out to the Leaf Cutters? Wait, let me just see here. Yeah, they are at war, so it looks like he's going to attack this, but you know what we can also do? We can do a reveal faction intentions on Cult of Sigmar as well. And wait, did I do that? Did I press perform? I didn't press perform, did I? Cult of Sigmar, reveal faction intentions, yes. Alrighty, so yes, it does look like they're going after this little Orky faction yet again. Will this be finally where the Leafcutters die? Do they still have an army? They still do seem to have an army in there. I'm really grateful for this one frickin' Orky faction. They've done so much for us just by existing. It's been quite impressive. Anyway, with that, I believe we're ready to move. Actually, nearly ready to move. Kairos. Knights of Immolation. Gonna rename you. If the game lets me delete this. Hello. Oh, are you not able to rename? Okay, no, you are. It just doesn't like backspace. It only likes delete. How dare you, game? It's tremendously rude. Checking my list here. There we go. That's for you guys. And I guess they do look a little bit like Ahriman. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some parallels between the 40k Thousand Suns and the Warriors of Tzeentch in this version in general. I mean, not surprisingly, Tzeentchian and Tzeentchian factions. You know, considering Ahriman's arrogance, I wouldn't have been surprised if he had called some of his forces Ahriman just because he could. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Anyway, let's start to move out, shall we? Aldebrand, you are moving out as well. Let's say here. Garrulus.
I serve the Wind Lord.
You're about to attack, but we'll do that in a second. Presuming that we don't need to do anything else, which, well, we can move Kairos out. I think via regular move stance, although wait. Do you suffer attrition when you're in teleportation? Huh. I don't know. We might be able to reach Karagorud. We might be able to reach Grand and Massive. Alright, regardless of the attrition, we're going to move. And this may hurt us from dwarfs attacking us, but it really depends on if they actually have an army here. Which it doesn't look like they do. Is that a Doom Engineer? What is this? No, it's a Pestilence Scheme Priest. Okay, I would prefer not to deal with Doom Engineers right now. Especially, well, I guess since we're sort of friendly with Queek, maybe he won't screw us over in that regard anyway. Alrighty. Now, I believe we're good here. Let's have Garrulus try to attack King Hetakor. Let's see if he actually does attack, or if King Hetakor fights. Also, I just want to double check. You have no Paths of Glory, because you're a Chaos Sorcerer Lord? Wait a second. Wait, you have no Paths of Glory, just out of curiosity. Cultists, you don't have... I mean, I got too used to the village campaign, I guess. Yeah. Okay, well then we don't have to deal with that or anything. Oh, and I guess these Chaos Sorcerer Lords then cannot ascend either, which is a little bit surprising, because these are mortals as well. But anyway, do this. And we do not draw out the garrison. Oh, that's a little bit, it's a little bit unfortunate. So the question here is, can we win this? And the answer to that question is, I don't know, but we're going to try. We're certainly going to try. I don't see why we wouldn't. I guess the scariest thing here is going to be the Tomb Swarm. We're also still a little bit beat up. They don't have a lot of range units. They do have a Necropolis Knight set in here. Let's put the Lichbone Pennant on. It doesn't really matter because everybody here does magical damage. I guess we'll protect you from enemy spell work then. Alright, let's give this a try. Obviously, the giant piles of skeletons aren't of any concern, but the Necropolis Knights and the Ushabti and the Sepulchral Stalkers very much are. We'll see if we can shoot them down with this blue horror spam. Get to it.
They think they have the power to stop us. Let us show them how wrong they are.
Alrighty, nice little grassy field to fight on while we, while under the corrupting light of Tzeentch's skies. Now this should be a pretty interesting battle. We have a garbage army made out of garbage units, but so do they. Though that said, they have 4 elites, the Ushabti, the 2 units of Sepulchral Stalkers, and the Necropolis Knights, whereas we have just the 1 non-garbage unit, which is our weird spawn, which counts as an elite 3rd tier as opposed to the regular 2nd tier spawn, so at least it should be able to take care of one of the Ushabti units for us. That said, we have the major advantage of actually having magics available to us, so we're going to be spamming our pink fires all over the place, and now that we have access to Tzeentch's Firestorm, the goal is of course going to be to try to cast as many spells as it takes to activate it and use it on the enemy formation. Obviously, we will be casting spells until we force the enemy to come to us, but we'll also be taking the best position, which is here. We keep getting some pretty good luck with regards to positioning in terms of the maps, as in available positions with these pseudo walls and cliffs, so I'm pretty happy about that. Otherwise, it looks like we also have the danger of the enemy Tomb Swarm, and I actually missed this one, at least for the first few seconds. It just managed to go through the barrier, although the barrier does seem to protect us quite well from it. Not nearly as much damage as I thought there might be from it. You just gotta be careful and avoid that in the future as well. Anyway, keep up with those pink fires of Tzeentch. Gonna be a lot of damage into all those regular skeleton units over and over and over again until the enemy comes up and wanders into the gauntlet, or wanders up that hill to get hosed down by blue fires instead of pink. Gotta be at least one more, although it looks like the enemy is moving its Necropolis Knights in to chase our Lord, and the rest of the army appears to be following suit. We should be able to get at least one more pink fire off before they arrive, though, so here it is. There we go, those poor skellies. A decent amount go down, and the enemy pops its first heal, I think? I can't tell which Realm of Souls tier they're at. Or maybe it disappeared too quickly. Well, I imagine it is the first tier. Also, luckily for us, the enemy is going to move its Sepulchral Stalkers in as the first units. Well, together with those Nehekara Horsemen back there, which means we're going to be firing on them with all the blue horrors that we can muster. And definitely got to take these elites the heck out. Also going to send the Lord to close and get a few more casts in. Just got to keep casting until the enemy no longer has its... or rather, until we activate our own spells. Bound spells. There we go, another nice line, and then there's another level of Realm of the Dead, and you can't see what level it is, but I think that's the second one, judging by the fact that they have not yet summoned their Ushabti. Necropolis Knights move out and then back in, getting a little bit of a cycle charge going, but we countercharge them with our own horrors. Which should be pretty nice, and I do imagine they're in pretty darn bad shape now. The countercharge, all of those hits from those blue horrors. Not a lot of models dead. They're still at 18 out of 24, but their HP is so low that they're in critical binding, and we might be able to force them to rout in general. Otherwise, more enemy units have arrived with those skeletons and other types of skeleton units. The Hakar warriors down here, blobbing it up. However, we should be able to cast a Firestorm on top of all of this relatively shortly. I think one more cast will do it. There we go. There's the pink fire, and Firestorm of Tzeentch is now available for us. Here it comes. I think this is the first proper one that we're gonna get in this campaign. As in a one that hits a lot of enemy units, and that's a pretty big target. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Oh, and we can see the blue, the little blue fires coming down at the same time. Look at all that beautiful Tzeentchian bombardment. Absolutely love it. Let's see how much damage the enemy takes and how many units are left alive after all this hits them. And the blue horrors are still coming for them as well. Certainly would be really nice to get that research that powers them up further, but well, we'll get there eventually. Speed it back up to normal, and the rest of this Firestorm. I've definitely grown to fear this ability myself from my Boris campaign. Got hit by a lot of these while fighting Kairos' faction. Anyway, there we go. With the Firestorm and those pink horrors up, the balance of power is definitely in our favor, and the enemy has lost, what, 1,200 of its units, whereas we have lost a little over 100 ourselves. Looking pretty darn decent, and in our favor, certainly. The enemy has also summoned its unit of Ushabti, I believe, and we have thus immediately turned to have all the blue horrors fire on them, although they are going to be quickly out of ammo at this rate. Another pink fire moving through the enemy, and it looks like it knocked in Ushabti out, in addition to all those skeletons, and I do believe this is also the very last of the Realms of the Dead activations that the AI is going to get, because they summoned the Ushabti. So we're now good. They will lack healing. Their Lord is still up, but getting closer to being surrounded by our Sorcerer, as well as our Spawn. Oh, damn! I didn't realize how tiny Tomb King Lords were. What the heck is this? Why is he so tiny? What? Huh. That actually surprises me. He seems really tiny compared to the Chaos Sorcerer, who just towers. I guess the skeletal steed is not adding a lot of mass because it's a relatively small horse by virtue of being a skeleton, so there's a lot of additional height added there. But still, damn. I guess that looks pretty intimidating. Oh, and you gotta love the way the sorcerers look. The Tzeentchian aesthetics, though. Been lots of comments about the Tzeentchian aesthetics, and you gotta appreciate them, though I'm pretty partial to the Khornate aesthetics as well. Man, this is making me want to play the Khorne and the Slaaneshi factions again to experience their aesthetics as well. In time. One thing at a time, or like 4 or 5 things at a time. Only so much I can do. Alrighty, there we go. Looks like most of the enemy skeleton soldiers, spearmen, and the like are just about done. Sepulchral Stalkers, we're going to charge them because they do quite a bit of decent damage via their ranged attacks and the splash damage that those dish out, and they're pretty good against blobs like this, so we do have to be careful. But otherwise, we should have the battle in our claws, or in our talons, I should keep saying, very shortly. There we go. Dropping all of those skeletons. Just the Lord and the Sepulchral Stalkers remaining, getting one last shot in from those blue fires, which appear to have brought down a Sepulchral Stalker in the background, and the battle is ours. Alrighty. That looks like it went pretty well, or at least it felt like it went pretty well. It says close victory, but let's see what the actual damage was. Didn't feel like it was that high. We certainly got a lot of value out of those pink fires while the enemy streamed up here, and the following firestorm that ensued. Definitely, pink fire is a great spell against the AI. It's just amazing, isn't it? Well, 'twas certainly no valiant defeat or crushing defeat or whatever the heck the auto-resolve was saying there. In fact, our losses were less than 10%, which I generally count as a pretty damn solid victory. We're going to actually heal up, even though we're in our own territory, and I would like the money, mostly because this is not over, as in the battles with this army ain't over. You now need to try to bait King Isfoff into attacking, so we're going to send you up, let's say, here, and we're going to put you into ambush with the hopes of baiting Isfoff into going after this other little army. So let's put you here, ambush. And then we're going to put you in march stance. Wait, where is the edge of this guy's travel ability? So he can go right there. A little bit close, but you're going to go right here instead. I'm hoping that this will work. No guarantee, but honestly, if we lose Iber Runemaster for it, Runemasher rather, it wouldn't be a horrible, horrible thing. I think that if he attacks them and the reinforcements doesn't work, then you will die, but if you die, you die. I mostly just want this army gone, and then our territory retaken. Oh damn, he got some chariots too. Well, let's see. We also got a couple levels off of that, we might as well make use of those. Dominating Presence, or do we get more spells? Glean Magic may be useful, Blue Fires of Tzeentch, well, in theory useful, and more useful when you're on your disc later on. Yeah, fine. That's probably something to help destroy Necropolis Knights and the like. Let's get Glean Magic, and then we'll move through... Ooh, we can get Prismatic Plurality right now for the cooldown decrease on those pink fires. Now, you know what? Let's go Glean Magic and Prismatic... Oh no, we're one short, aren't we? You need 6 points in this. Oh wow, huh. Is Tzeentch the only one that needs 6 points in this line rather than 4 before moving on? I thought it was only the red line that needed 6. Interesting. Well then, that answers the question of blue fire or not. And wait a second. Corrupt Mage is at rank 10. Which means we should probably hold off and wait for Corrupt... And again, this is only Forsaken Chaos Spawn and Feral Manticores. I would like Corrupt Mage, we can get that directly at level 10. So this isn't as big of a deal. You know what, yeah, I think we're good then. Let's go Blue Fire, let's get Dominating Presence for this fight, if it occurs. Iber, I don't know if you're dead, but just in case you're not, let's get you Searing Doom X2.
A gift of Zenith.
Like so. And you are just on the edge of where this guy can reach you. Let's hope that works out. Now, we do have nothing else to do. We gotta keep an eye out on the ability to confederate these guys, though. Minus 12, eh? Not super likely yet, but getting there. Question, will they declare war on us if we start trading their settlements to ourselves? Somebody suggested that we start trading the settlements of the All-Seeing Eye up here, and I would absolutely love that. But they only have the one settlement, which is really unfortunate. Plus, I guess they're losing to the Tong, and I don't know if they're at war with Hag Grief as well. No, they're not. I guess they're just losing to the Tong. Oh, and they're fighting Archaon as well. And Archaon is getting closer. I fear that the All-Seeing Eye are doomed, and they don't want to confederate for whatever reason. It would be nice if we could confederate and get a territory up there, but, well, if we can't, we can't. Anyway, let's keep going. I do imagine that we have at least a little bit of cash to spend, so let's spend it. We should also maybe be careful and use Reveal Faction Intentions on other nearby factions shortly. Actually, Reveal Shroud... Is there anybody here that we want to do this to? You know what? Yes, there is. I want to reveal the Shroud on the Dwarfs, the Ironbrows Expedition Dwarfs specifically. Let's see what we're looking at here. Looks like they're still fighting Skarbrand. They got 2 full stacks here, including Thorax, but they're quite far from capitalizing on the fact that Mount Arachnos and the other newly taken territories are as yet undefended. Also, I didn't even know that there was a strategic location at Mount Arachnos. For the greenskins, makes sense. Probably something spiderly. Spiderly. Is that a word? I don't think it's a word. Oh, and look, Skarbrand... You actually have a full stack. I thought you had half a stack, but maybe you're gonna attack the floating village and take it. We'll see. We'll see if Skarbrand manages to survive without our help. Going to Tzeentch for help, man. Khorne has to be embarrassed as heck. Alrighty, now let's see where we spend our cash. Do we have any lattices up and running, first of all? Crucible of Delights, yes, we'll get that. Ooh, Occam's Forever Maze. We gotta go for that. Yeah. And that's all of our cash, and I guess that's a perfect amount because we were going to upgrade this anyway. Alrighty, well that sounds like an end turn to me, and we'll see if King Isfoff is drawn into our little trap here. Scarbrand is going to siege. Oh, that's not such a good idea, because Thorik's going to jump over and help out. Why would you do this? And the ambush, the enemy failed to spot it. Oh no, you poor Tomb Kings. Alrighty, well, because the ambush actually worked, we're gonna fight this regular style, because I think the enemy is quite screwed. Quite screwed indeed. We probably don't even need our reinforcements, though they do have a couple of Tomb Guard. We just gotta make sure we kill those with our pink fires and stuff, and obviously apply our weird spawn where they're needed. I'm really glad this worked. We'll retake our territory and then afterwards delete one of our armies and move north. And as per a comment, I forgot to use the Unholy Manifestation last time. Hopefully I will not this time and get a few of those extra grimoires up and running on our extra little army while we have it. I really don't like how you have to be in an enemy territory, because sometimes that's quite difficult. And it's definitely not worth having an army by itself. At least not for 250, especially since we're gaining over 100 right now per turn just from buildings. Later on, we'll probably be gaining like hundreds from buildings. Wait, this is their escape location? Wait, no. They're moving, they seem to be moving away from it to here. Huh, that's weird. You know what? Let's set up our spawn here directly to attack these various mounted units together with the Forsaken. Then we set up you guys like this to block all of our ranged units. You are going to be casting stuff, and then you guys set up in a standard sort of formation like so. Like that. And then two more of you. Are there any enemy ranged units? No. We probably want to tie up their mounted units with our flyers then, and honestly I don't care. I don't really care that much if they die either. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 to attack the chariots, etc. Group 4. And you guys are going to lock down, and that's about it. Start battle now. Attack, you forward, you guys forward against this. Ooh, the Sepulchral Stalkers are there. Alright, distract those horses. Distract them as long as you can. Actually, if they're all going to charge like this, maybe you're good as you are. Now, Pink Fires of Tzeentch, go. Right through that blob, very nice. And I want you guys to actually specialize towards attacking these mounted units. You can distract them. Alright, how we doing over on this side? Looking okay for now, and some of our blue horrors are unable to fire. Focus down the enemy Nehekaran warriors, as they should be pretty vulnerable to range fire. Everybody else, attack blue horrors, switch targets to these Tomb Guard. These Tomb Guard, yes they are with halberds at that. Alrighty, you, another Pink Fire of Tzeentch ready to go now, like so. Ah, these poor enemies. Ooh, move that away, you're gonna get a Tomb Swarm on you. Alright, how are you guys doing? Target those Tomb Guard, please. Alright, anybody? Reinforcements have arrived on the field, though they are probably too far away from us to do anything. Ranged or flyers, you've broken your barrier, or you lost your barrier, but that's okay. Alrighty, and all of you blue horrors, kill that poor Tomb Guard unit. Pink Fire coming down shortly again. How are we out here? Okay, you guys have moved away from the swarm. Let's re-attack those warriors. One of you just distract that enemy. Lord, Pink Fire ready to go once again. Let's destroy this blob then. Flyers, you're still relatively okay. And they're probably going to be able to summon their Shopti soon, which we'll have to watch out for. But otherwise, we're looking pretty okay. Flyers maybe retreat and then come back in. Not that the Nehekar horsemen are all that threatening, mind you, but charge them in the back rather than in the front. Especially the ones that are hurt, like you, back it out. And you have killed those units, let's advance. You are gonna get hit by something, but I want to avoid it, whatever it may be. Is it another Tomb Swarm? Some kind of spell. And another Pink Fire through this unit there. Ooh, these poor Marauders. They've heroically held the line. Oh, and it's that Ushapti spam, nice. Alright, let's drop a spell on this. I think that actually might hurt us more than it'll hurt them. Just ignore that then. Alrighty. You know what? We need to kill the rest of these Nehekaran warriors. How's that Lord looking? Lord's okay. I don't think this will hurt the Ushapti, so I'm not going to bother with that. And, oh, did one of our flyers die? They might have died. All good. Doesn't really matter, because this army is going to get retrofitted into a proper stack shortly, with some more elite units. And then go back in. Rest of you are good, and the battle should be just about over. I want to get one more pink fire into this blob right there, and I think they'll all start routing. Oh, you guys are ran out of ammunition. Yeah, okay, well, we'll need to get ammunition. And yeah, somebody talked about getting the Exalted Locus of Conjuration research in the comments previously, and yes, the plan is absolutely to get that particular piece of research. We just don't have the capability right now because it needs you to get something before you do. I don't remember what it is. I think it was a tier 5 building or something like that. I was actually the first piece of research I really wanted to do on like the first episode, and then I got disappointed that we'd have to go through so much in order to acquire it. Yeah, sorry to the Furies, you guys got killed, but you're very cheap and easily reacquirable. Alrighty, we could have absolutely waited for our reinforcements, but clearly we didn't need to. And disappointed in those Tomb Guard. They should have done a lot more than they ended up doing. Do we need to heal? I think we're going to offer tribute. I don't know whether we actually need to, but we'll see. We're still in our own territory, so we should heal up anyway. And I don't see Thoric. Is he not going to try to support the floating village from the attack on by Scarbrand, or is Thoric perhaps going to come our way? I also don't see that Queek has taken the northern part of these territories, so it looks like we're safe for now, though it looks like he is sieging Khalida. If his stacks are just full of Skaven slaves, however, I don't imagine he'd succeed, although I suppose it depends on what is exactly in Khalida's stack as well. Alrighty, now. You're building a new force at Resetra, but it'll take a while. Are we able to reach a Serpent Coast? Don't tell me. We are not. Though the garrison here is trash. So here's what we do. Iber, you are a lower rank, a considerably lower rank. You have Scaled Skin. What does Garrulus have again? You have Iron Skin. Both of which are fine. But you also have Grimsbane for melee infantry units, which thus you are going to be using, including a decent amount of Forsaken. You can have these Blue Horrors. And Iber, I believe you are going to go here, but rather than delete yourself, as I said, get that Unholy Manifestation. Right there. For a free 250 runes. Unfortunately, Tzeentch is not Ascendant right now. But he will be Ascendant again. We will ensure it. Now, and we can't recruit any more flyers. Just keep it at 2. Actually, we may want to... Oh, I keep looking for warband upgrades, like in the Warriors of Chaos, like for Village, and not finding it, and it keeps weirding me out. Alrighty, well, I guess we're going to delete one of these Blue Horrors and replace it with Mr. Aldebrand Hart here. And then you are going to move in, I guess, in camp stance right here, just to heal up. They may get a force raise next turn, but hopefully we'll be okay. And then you, increase mobility. Because Garrulus will be our new army, though I like Iber Runesmasher's name more. I'm just saying. Also, we need to keep an eye on this, and ooh, Quetzalcoatl has finally fallen. Leafcutters are dead, which means either the Golden Tower or possibly Zlatlan are next. Well, let's get that Demonic Locus up, though if these guys are coming in, the walls will not come up early enough, and we may need to actually build another army here. What else can we build? We do want the Lost Athenaeum. Income from all buildings plus 30%, yes, definitely. And this does nothing for us right now. This is what gives us the Exalted Locus of Conjuration, as I recall. Yeah, so you need to go through Glean Magic, which needs, one of these. A Cult of Change, which actually unlocks a ton of research. In fact, probably all of it. This is the only thing that has that, isn't it? Huh. Okay, interesting. Interesting. And this may be the turn where we build some more military buildings. Let's just see whether you are willing to join us now. Minus 16 now. He needs to lose all his armies to Pahwaks, or to the ghosts of to the ghost of Pahwaks, rather. Hopefully Kronos dies, and then we can get all these territories for free. No, I guess we'll see. And once again, if anybody knows whether these guys will declare war on us if we start transferring their stuff over to us, please let me know. Because if not, I'll start doing that. But if yes, I'd rather wait for them to die and just confederate them the old-fashioned way. Anyway, what do we build here? Yes on the gems, or yes on one of these. The thing is, I was going to make the Fortress of Dawn a little bit more military-heavy, because it's a little bit in a safer position. And it already has 2 military buildings. What will this do? Control defensive supplies when under siege, which ain't horrible, but it's only 30. And there really isn't that much. You know what, let's go for the gems for now. Why not? We got other places to build, like the Temple Avenue of Gold, up to a demonic fortress. The growth is quite nice right now, isn't it? The growth is nice this time of year. Alrighty, well, Garrulus, you're gonna stay where you are. However, you know who's not? Kairos. The question for you, my friend, is whether you go for Karaga Rud, or whether you go for Granite Massif. And I'm inclined to go for Karaga Rud, even though it borders stuff. Also, Khemri. What do we do with Khemri? You have the aversion. Is there anything interesting we can do with regards to this? I would love to force a war between Khemri and these guys. And you know what? We have force a war coming in 2 turns. Would this be possible? Let's find out. I want to see how long or how many grimoires this would take. If we say force a war between Alta Sigmar and Khemri. 3.5k, yeah, that's not gonna fly. What about Cult of Sigmar and... We can't force a war between these guys, I guess. Okay, is there any beneficial way of war we could do here? Is there anybody else that Khemri can fight? What about Cult of Sigmar and the Bowmen of Orion? 2.6, still not that good, though these guys could probably hold out for a while. What about Khemri and Bowmen of Orion? 1,000, this could be done. I don't see why we would do it, though. I mean, it's just a possibility. What about Khemri and the Dwarfs? Where are the... Armbrow's Expedition. At 2,000, much more manageable considering how many grimoires we gain, and our grimoires are about to increase, but I also am not threatened by this faction at all. Granted, I'm not threatened by the Volkmar faction either, it's just that, well, they actually have stuff down here and we don't. We also need to figure out where exactly they're headed to. If you're heading out to the Golden Tower, we'll need to summon fire there, but if we're heading out to Zatlan, then we'll need to do that there. I guess we'll see next turn. Kairos, time to take Karaga Rud, and you are going to occupy the place. And then you're going to move back through to Granite Massif and start attacking the territories of the medium. Yeah, medium, but we'll heal up. Ooh, yeah, those flyers keep getting hurt, but we're okay as yet. Occupy the place, let's see how much healing we get. Honestly, not that much. The fact that we lack a healing bonus thing. I do wonder, can Iridescent Horrors or Chaos Sorcerers increase army healing? Because that's what we really, really lack right now. You're going to be up shortly, but not quite yet. And Chaos Sorcerers up here. They have Steel Tech, Wound, and Block Army. And what do you have? Assault Garrison, Assassinate Assault Units. Okay, so none of our heroes can increase healing. Oh, wait. No, that's Hinder Replenishment. Damn. Wait, damage walls? Okay, you have increased mobility. Spread control, training, scouting. Oh, scouting is good, so we should still put that in Kairos' army, but damn. That means, to me, it's probably beneficial to not get called by change, even though I would like the upkeep, but instead get the Legions of Madness. It's not much, but it feels like Kairos needs it. Also, speaking of Kairos, you got a level. Let's get you... This buffs bonuses for Lords of Change, among other things, and you will definitely have Lords of Change. This is Flamers, Exalted Flamers, and Chariots. You'll have some of those, but probably not a crazy amount. And this is Warriors, Knights, Doom Knights. Okay, let's start with the Armor of Delirium. You're definitely going to have a decent amount of those guys, though also a decent amount of Lords of Change. Going to be a little bit of a mixed bag here of various types. Anyway. Well, let's see what we got here. Demonium Hills, any lattices? We're looking good so far in Occam's Forever Maze. And we're looking good here as well, or good-ish. Abyssal Glacier. Do want to upgrade these, but I don't want to pay the 1.2k for it right now. Yeah, we still got a lot of stuff to build. Ooh, we also got to check. You've reached tier 5, actually. So we don't need to have any more... Okay, what, have you reached tier 5? No. You have not either, but you're getting very close to it, because we'll be able to delete these buildings afterwards. The Thaumaturgic Fissures. And you are not there yet either, and you are not there yet either. But I do want to keep an eye out on those lattices, and any additional possible lattices. Up, Teotihuacan's going to be able to be upgraded next turn. And we're good here as well, at least in terms of lattice, and we are only not good here at Karaga Rud. You are going to need growth, and you're going to need a lot of it. And you need it quickly. So Thaumaturgic load. And let's uncollect the income here. Let's also go into Winds of Magic Manipulation, see what we're working with, rather. Let's do this. And then this. And oh wow, we don't have a lot of extra. Damn. That's disappointing. I suppose we could take away... Oh, there's one extra here and there's one extra here. I'm lying. There we go, perfect. And then all of you are at ±1. We'll see. And I believe that's it. We do have a little bit of cash remaining, but if we're going to save up for an upgrade next turn, we might as well save for that. I just want to briefly double check our Diplo. Dimmed Suns still like us, but I'm probably going to destroy them because it's a Horde faction. Right? It's a Horde, right? Yeah. I suppose we could give them a settlement and try to trade with them or something, but I don't see why we would. I don't particularly care for the faction. Alrighty, let's skip the rest of this. There was a building upgrade available, but there are lots of building upgrades available. Get going. And then once again, we can't forget military buildings that have got to come up shortly. As we do need more armies. And just want to spend as many turns within the next few turns as possible getting our econ up and running more and more. Although once Iber Rune Smasher is gone, although presuming that we make him gone rather than actually just keeping him and having him get a new army. What do we have here? In the darkest recesses of the Lost Athenium is a millennia-old hidebound grimoire. Upon its cover is an agonized face, forever weeping fresh blood. Alas, its ancient pages crumble at your touch. This primordial tome can muster but one last spell before it disintegrates. Enemy Winds of Magic Power Reserve change -15. Item magic drop chance, yes. Invoke the Grasping Boots. Grant unto your champion a cloud of phantom hands around their feet, forever clawing at the air and drumming their hideous fingers upon the earth. What about, I just want to read this because I like these descriptions. Grant unto your champion an aura of whispering tendrils around their head, which as they writhe and twitch shall siphon magic away from their foes. Cool, but we're not going to be in regions with enemies a lot, you know what I mean? Whenever we're in regions with enemies, we're most likely already attacking those enemies, so the Winds of Change is irrelevant. Yeah, that's irrelevant. Enemy, invoke the Grasping Boots. Rite of Awakening performed. Ooh, Ghost of Pachwak's just got stronger, which will be threatening for Kronos down there. Leaf Cut is destroyed. Lucar's got that magic item drop chance increase, and you can't move, but you can retake Serpent Coast and then start moving north. Looks like King Eurytamon has also built the a new stack, Occupy, and start rebuilding it. As annoying as that may still be. Alrighty, while Kairos... Oh, hello there, hello there, Exiles. What are you doing? Why are you coming here? You can't have these territories. We worked hard for these. Well, maybe not hard, but we worked for these. I wonder, would you be able to attack Kairos if he moves here? Can't quite tell. What's the distance these guys can move? Because I'd like to attack Granite Massive, but I'm not entirely sure whether we actually want to auto-resolve it or not, as I'm just a little bit worried that then we get attacked. But then again, even if we do get hit by both of these stacks, I have a feeling that Kairos can kill most of this anyway, without too much trouble, even with the damage our units have suffered. So maybe we're okay. Now, what are you doing, Volkmar? It seems you're sitting there for a couple turns as yet. Do we still see your intentions? How do we know which factions are currently being changed in the ways? I don't think it's been 5 turns, but I don't see what they're doing exactly. Duration 5 turns. I'm just out of curiosity, wait. If we do this to Cult of Sigmar, it does say perform is available again. Oh, no, it's right here. Reveal faction intentions, 3 turns on them. Reveal Shroud, them and Ironbrows. Do we want to see faction intentions on Ironbrows? I think we do. Where are you, Ironbrow? Right there, perform. And there we are. Now, looks like they are headed towards this little Exiles army, but that is also very near to Karagorud, which they may want to retake. Also got to remember that you have the wrong type of building. I think we switched out the rest. Also Teotihuacan, before I forget, let's switch you to that demonic fortress, shall we? And Temple of Skulls, you are good, but you know what? You need to get your research rate back up and running, get that Egrim's contrivance algorithm. And how are we? Near to the Way of War. And one of the main reasons that we want the Way of War is to combine them in order to get this free teleport thing. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're looking good. We don't need to manipulate magics this turn, because there's nothing really for us to do there. Do we need to move any armies? Well, I guess we're going to auto-resolve with Kairos. Probably take a little bit of damage, and we can't heal that much, but just keep going. And just keep going. Alrighty, Kairos, did you get any XP for that? Wow, you didn't even level up. Man, I really wish the healing was better. Damn. You guys need to try harder. Alrighty, Lucar, you at least have a level up. You are doing something. Well, let's get you... I mean, we could put 1 point into Burning Head. Or do we just keep upgrading Firestorm? Ironically, both of these would be good against the Tomb Kings. But I feel like we'd want to overcast them either way. And we probably wouldn't use both, and neither one would be as useful as combining Piercing Bolts of Burning with Kairos' Pink Fire, so I think just leave it as it is. Also, you are going to get Thaumaturgic Loads, Growth. All about the growth right now. Alrighty, and then Iber, you can't move for a turn as yet, but you will be able to shortly. And then perhaps we move you down here. Presuming that we don't use fire, although wait, if fire turns into an exalted... I assume you can ascend to become exalted, right? So you're most likely going to defend these locations for us. Just checking out that nobody is coming down here as yet. Okay, no, it looks like we're good. Let's get some buildings up and running, then let's end the turn. Just out of curiosity. We're very nearly out of time, but I am interested to see whether King Eurataman attacks at Granite Massif or not. I have a feeling he's going to siege to prevent us from healing. The AI does have a tendency to do that. Alrighty, any lattices available, or do we go for other stuff? Or military stuff? Ooh, we could get our first Iridescent Horror up and running if we do this. As well as Exalted Pink Horrors, or a Chaos Sorcerer for that sweet, sweet scouting. Plus the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch. But lattices take priority right now. It's not like we're losing with our current armies, after all. And, ooh, we gotta upgrade these. They all need walls, at least while the dwarfs are threatening them. And I suppose while Orion tends to threaten as well. Let's go for Mount Arachnos first. It doesn't really matter. You know what? You're actually building walls right now. Let's go for Lost Plateau first. We'll get the other one afterwards. And then just upgrade any old thing that will give us a slight amount increase in cash. So let's say you. Alright, looks good to me. Let's end the turn. Kairos, you don't need any more levels, correct? No, you do not. And the Way of War will be up. Though I believe that Thorek is coming for us. And I'm curious to see whether Volkmar's faction's gonna get a move on now. As long as we can hold, like, even 10 turns like this is going to grow our faction so much, because we're gaining such a nice amount of cash right now every turn. The longer we can do that, the better off we'll be later on. Way of War is available. Looks like Volky is not yet moved, so that's great for us. Every extra turn. Scriveners of Insanity, Iber Rune Smasher, good. Free Grimoires. Now, Iber. I guess we're gonna head you to the Golden Tower and potentially start building an army. I was gonna delete you for the extra money, but you know, maybe a little bit later. Let's have Garrulus move out to the Temple of Skulls, though I guess we gotta watch out for more units sailing down the Serpent Coast. We'll just build a wall at Serpent Coast, especially since it is, well, a coast. Cursed Jungle, ironically, you don't really need the wall right now, but we're gonna keep it at the 2nd level. You're not really threatened by anything. Well, I suppose, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, the Wood Elves could jump over Golden Tower and then jump again, and, well, fairly unlikely, actually. Yeah, we're probably fine. Alright, Garrulus, move up.
Fly the Raven's banner.
Far as you can go, and it looks like King Yuritaman did not attack, and it also looks like... Yeah, the dwarves decided not to attack us. In fact, I can't see them. Where's their stack?
Next time you...
Huh. We revealed Shroud, and we did faction... Aha! They're ambushing. Aren't they? They have a stack here, probably a full stack at that. That we can't see. I thought our Shroud was revealed, but apparently we can't... Yeah, I guess we can't see them because they're in ambush. Interesting. Now the question then is, can they take Karaggarud? Very likely that they can. The problem is, if Kairos was to leave leave Granite Massive, then Granite Massive would not be able to hold because of King Yuritamon here. And I do imagine that they can attack instantly. I wonder if we can force the war between Grim Suns and... Let me just see here. Dimmed Suns, rather. Have I been calling them Grim Suns? I kind of like that better, actually. Let's see. Force war between these tiny, tiny faction and the Court of Libaras. 1,000. Interesting. I mean, it's the only one that I feel might actually give us some value, unless we force the dwarfs to fight with the Knights of Origo. Knights of Origo versus, let's say... either the dwarfs, Ironbrow's Expedition, 7.1k, yeah, that's not happening, versus Khemri, a little bit closer at 2,000, nearly possible. What about the Cult of Sigmar? Also 2,000, you know what? How strong are the Knights of Origo right now? Is this worth saving up for? They're not bad, they got 4 territories. You know what, we might actually give that a try. Oh, 9.8 on the Confederation. Getting a little bit better. Have you lost an army? Yes, they've lost a full stack, it looks like. But they're still refusing to do this. They're getting close. They just need to lose a second stack and maybe even have some of their territories threatened.
It's me!
Alright, we shall see. Well, anyway, unfortunately with that, we're out of time. Next time, we will probably go to try to defend against the dwarfs here, leaving Granite Massive to fall, but then if we have to retake it, we'll just retake it. Shouldn't be a problem. I will think about forcing the war between Grimfang and the Court of Libaras. On the one hand, it would probably do something and would force King Yuritaman to move. On the other hand, the problem is that with 2,000 grimoires, we can get a much better war going between some factions here, i.e. the Knights of Origo. That would serve us a lot more, so I feel like we should save, and it shouldn't be that much trouble to get the requisite grimoires. So we'll give that a try. We'll also continue retrofitting Garrulus's armor, get him a few more better troops, and start moving him north to help out Kairos. If he was threatening Rosetta, for example, Kairos wouldn't need to worry about leaving Granite Massive. But anyway, stay tuned for more Kairos. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.